What's up, everybody? I'm Frankie Biggz. Thank you for stopping by to my channel. Today, we are looking at Too Cool for School BTS record. Now, I've never heard this record. I'm sure that I've heard tunes off of this record, but I've never heard it from beginning to end. So I'm quite excited to hear this because, I mean, we're already in the, how can I say, the festa mood, right? Which, by the way, to tell you, the reason we're doing this is because we had taken a poll, you guys asking what you guys wanted me to do for festa, and you guys gave some really, really good ideas. The problem is YouTube was like, "Oh, hell no. No, YouTube does not wanna be part of festa." So, they were kinda blocking a lot of, what was, being suggested, so we decided on this because that was the other thing that a lot of people have been asking me to do is to review some of their records, especially from their older generation. We know what's going on right now with them with this new record, Outta Young, but thought we'd go back and, listen to the magic and the majesty that is Too Cool for School. So, Miss Producer Irene B, are you there?
I am here. Hopefully
Okay.
everything works good.
Cool, cool, cool.
And
So, well, if you don't mind, what is the first tune that we're jumping into?
the first song is the intro, and it's called
Okay.
Too Cool for School. And I'm about
a-
to share it with you.
All right, let's get it going.
Can you see?
Here we go. Sure can.
All right,
Let's
I
run it.
got it.
We're now going to progress to some steps which are a bit more difficult. Ready, set, and begin.
Okay. All right, all right. Well, first things first, I love the chunky beats. You know what I mean? I am a fan of that era. Um, the Wu-Tang era, I guess you would call it. Like, I'm definitely there when it comes down to that. So I really, really dig that. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, it's just the big, big, you know, big New York sound. The scratching DJ Freeze. I mean, hey, man, doesn't get any better than that. And I'm hearing all that DJ work, all the flares and twiddles and stuff like that. So, geez, man, it's just beautiful. Really, really, really cool. Great intro. We stopped it right before it went into the next track. So, Rini B, what is the next track?
That track that it was going to was actually not the next track. The next track is this one.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. We are bulletproof. Oh boy, part two.
part two. Yeah.
I think I've heard this
Yeah,
before.
you
Go ahead.
have, but make sure you
Yeah.
take a look at the lyrics since you.
Lyrics, yes, because I have heard the music before. So you know what? Today, peeps, we're gonna look at the lyrics because that is something I need to do more of. And let's get into it. Let's go. Oh boy. The boys back in the beginning. Well, look, I'll say it like this. I mean, this if you ever wanted to know the beginning stories of these guys, this song pretty much covers it. You know what I mean? Just kind of lets you know where they're coming from. I dig. I do like there's a couple lines in there I really like. I like the very first JK line saying, I am, my name I'm paraphrasing. My name is JK and I'm pretty much internationally known. And I thought that was pretty cool, pretty bold. I also like the line about throw a stone at me if you've done as much as I've done. That's a pretty cool thing. Like almost a play on some biblical stuff, like the whole, that any person without sin throw the first rock. And it's kind of like, yeah, right. So in a way, it's ironic to say, hey, throw any person has done as much as I do, throw the first rock. Well, man, and to really, really look at what's being said at this point in time and what has happened and transpired since this time, it's like these guys definitely I mean, they didn't. It's not like they're psychics and they knew what was gonna happen. It was definitely in their mode, like, "This is what we want, this is what we're going for," and look what happened, it worked. You know what I mean? So, very cool. Bulletproof has always been a really, really cool track, and again, still, I love the hat trick. I mean, that little part there where they show them dancing, that hat the hat trick that they do, the dancing with the hat and how all that stuff, that video doesn't do it much justice because I've seen it in different angles. I've seen it in different angles, and it's incredible. It's just incredible, and it's cool to see how fast they're moving, man. You know what I mean? Like, not to say that these guys couldn't dance like that fast and that efficient now. We all know that they can do that, but it's just cool to see the younger version of those guys because, man, they were moving. They were moving. There's so much energy in those boys and so much, just basically just giving it their all to get to where they are. And so kudos to them. Great. This song being, right after the intro is really, really cool. All right. I am ready for the next one. What is it? Miss Irene B.
This is a skit. It
Skit.
says Circle Room Talk.
Circle Room Talk. Okay, cool. Let's go. Okay, so it's a snapshot of, a moment in where they're all just pretty much talking about how they were coming up in their dreams, basically. And then, Hitman Bang had to come in and ruin the moment. I don't know if that's who it was, but kind of leads on that somebody at the label was like, "Come on, you brats."
It looked like
So
it was the teacher, because this is kind of like too cool for school, meaning too cool to go to school.
oh,
So
I get it. Okay, yeah, so that
they
was
were saying like, are we gonna miss the class or are we
right,
gonna
are we
actually
skipping or
go?
what? What's the
Yeah,
deal?
we're skipping. Right.
Okay,
So
okay,
yeah.
okay, okay, okay. Got it. Thank you for straightening that out. Well, what can I say? I mean, it is what it is. It was just a skit with a microphone and some ambient noise. All right. So, what is the next track?
Next track is No More Dream. You've already heard this one, but as always,
I'll
now
read the
you
lyrics.
get
Let's get to the
to
lyrics this
read
time.
the
Here we go.
lyrics.
All right. Oh yeah, I like this. I love the bass part. Okay. It's kind of a little hard to follow the meaning of it, I think, for me. And never claimed to be the smartest person in the world, by the way. So, um, it seems like what they're basically saying is it seems like it may be kind of ironicy. I think they're speaking ironics like, what is your dream? I mean, are you gonna go for your dream, or does it even matter to you? And I think that that's kind of what I'm getting out of it. Like, I think they're kinda like saying, "Quit having such a skewed version of life and just living for the moment," like, almost like you gotta have a plan at this. I'm not saying they were being that serious, but they were kinda hinting at, like, don't act like you don't have any plans. Don't act like, don't be a liar. I mean, you just get out there and get it, basically. Quit fooling yourselves and thinking that it's, you know, you're never going to hit your mark. You can do it. And that's kind of what I got out of it. Irene, what say you?
Um, for me, is more like don't be basically don't be so basic.
Right. Basically
So
go out and get your dreams. Quit making
right,
excuses for being a dumbass, basically.
Not a dumbass, but I mean, don't be
Lazy
so
ass?
basic. Like, don't be so basic, meaning don't just settle for whatever comes in your life. Just work for your dreams.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right.
That's what
All
I
right.
see out of it.
That's what I got out of it. I still like the track. I like the track a lot. And definitely now that I'm able to focus a little more on the lyrics, they kind of come into focus a little bit. Sometimes I think the translation is a bit harsh and maybe too literal, I guess I can say. But other than that, I mean, again, just awesome, awesome stuff. Especially like again, I keep saying in reference to the fact that like we're gonna go be seeing these guys here in like how many days? 18 days?
By the time this comes out, it's gonna be less than 2 weeks.
Less than 2 weeks, peeps. So yeah, it's cool to get a real good glimpse of this now in as in context to us going to see the Young concert, which we cannot wait. This is gonna be amazing. We are so excited. So alrighty, righty, righty. What do we got next?
Next is the interlude.
The interlude. Let's go. All right. The interlude. So I liked it. I liked it. To me, it seems like it should have been a tune. You know what I mean? Like it just had that really cool RM, like pre RM um records. It has that rawness. I like the way that they use the samples of the guitar. I mean, I liked everything. I was waiting for some type of lyrics, and it actually said on the screen, park underscore lyrics. So I don't know if there was supposed to be lyrics or I don't know. All right. What's next?
Next is like.
Like. Let's go. So this song just really has a really, really cool aesthetic to it. You know what I mean? And I just think it's really, again, I think it's kind of like a prelude or kind of a snapshot of what we were about to see happen um with RM's record. Right. Well, he had two records, but it was the last one that he had put out. Right person, wrong time, or something to that degree. I just remember that the production behind it was very abstract, which I thought was really cool. And I don't know, man. I just dug it all the way. Like this track. So breaking it down as far as how can I say, like the way that the RM was rapping against Suga and then with Hobie. Like there's just their styles are just so different, but yet they sound so good. But I will say the one that sticks out for me is gonna be Sugar because I mean he just took it into a whole different direction. He just went into this whole different thing about the way that he approached this track with his timing, his flow and his cadences was definitely against the actual, push and drive of the track. He was all around it. And they don't take anything away from RM or Hobie because RM does what he does, man. First off, RM's voice, the tone of his voice is just amazing. And so that was definitely in play. Lyrics, same thing. Super deep, very abstract. But then when you have Hobie come in, you remember who Hobie is. I don't know how I can put that out there. Like he just has this thing, man, where he is able to exist when he spits his lyrics and the way that he spits it, that you just see this man's face. Like you can see it. You can see him as he's spitting it. It's each guy just has its own characteristic. Each rapper has their own characteristic, and it shows hardcore on this track here. It just really, really shows and outlines their ability lyric wise, substance wise. I think Suga's lyrics are pretty dope. Now, I didn't understand. There was something that went by because I know that they're talking about uh basically the whole idea of their ex, still annoyingly looking fucking hot. And it's almost like all the stuff that I was starting to get tired of and getting annoying. I'm starting to miss it. And I'm paraphrasing, but I mean that's basically what he was saying to that degree. And I don't know, man. And to have Jimin on the chorus like that, just a really, really cool, fun melody. And I think the whole tune was amazing. So yeah, that's that's my 2 cents. Irene B, what say you?
I like this. Plus, I've seen some performances, and it's pretty cool how they do this one.
Yeah.
Uh, maybe you do it soon. So yeah, it's a cute song.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. I like the play, the word play, and the rhythm play that each one of these guys put into it. You know, Howie had more of a straight on beat kind of thing that was happening, and it's a little, how can I say, it was easier to vibe to when he started coming in because he had more of a balanced flow to him. You could get the other guys was just pure fire, just like spitting bars, bars, bars. And so was Hobie, but I mean, he just has a whole different thing. What can I say about that thing that he has except to say it's he reminds me so much of Drake. Does if that makes any sense? And let me say what I mean by that. Like Drake has this really good way with his melodies, and especially when Drake is hitting those mid-tone melodies, na 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 na, and the real low mid kind of thing. I think Hobie definitely has that style, and when he puts it together, like he man, like with all of the references that he has with RM and Suga, he just has a way of being able to actually touch those guys and then still implement that real monotone kind of rap style, which I think is awesome. I really, really do. So, what can I say? I do like Sugar's verse a lot better. That's just not just because he's my bias, but he's a bias for a reason. And I just think that he's just a natural born rapper. This motherfucker is just he's just amazing, man. And I think that he just definitely it's not like he's smacking the other 2 because that's not reality. Because these guys they're so good in their own lane that it's hard to really just compare them or put them up against each other because this was all designed for a reason, and that is not one of the reasons to say which one is better. I believe you could have your bias and you could say, I definitely like Sugar's verse better, but it doesn't take away from the other 2 because at the same time, I listened to it again, I'm like, "Jesus, every single one of them killed it, though." That's what I'm saying, like, they came with it, so it's really, really hard to put them up against to say this person's better than the other person because I don't think it's just one of those moments where you really can't do that with these guys. Alright, and that's my 2 cents. Now, what do we got next?
All right. Next is the outro, Circle Room Cipher, and this will be the last song of
Alright,
Too
let's
Cool
go.
for School.
Alright. So Jimin came to this. What is up with that? He's the only one that was like, "Oh, we're gonna cipher. I'm gonna diss somebody." So he's like, "Hey, yo, you smelling kind of fishy." Anyways, what do you think first, Irene?
What do I think first about?
Yeah. What do you think about that cipher? Is it cipheristic?
Not really, not that much. I'm
I mean,
sure
it sounds like
there's way better ciphers later on.
well, I think they were just messing around. Well, peeps, we took a listen to Too Cool for School, and here's what I gotta say. Overall, I'm very impressed. I don't think that I expected to hear what I heard from beginning to the end. So, first, let's talk about the production. The production, again, the mixing and the mastering, flawless, flawless, flawless. Because the entire record from beginning to the end is very it's there's a lot of continuity, a lot of attention to continuity, which I think is key, especially sonically when it comes to mixing and mastering. The next thing would be now that I had a chance to actually go and listen to the lyrics, I think that that was really cool. It's telling you the story about them being too cool for school, obviously, but also there's an undertone. It seems like there's a bit of irony in it. And I think the whole idea is look, and I think that this has been their thing. Like, don't get caught up in what society tells you what to do. That is not what you should be doing. You should basically use that energy and use it to go and do the things that make you happy. Do the things, be the person that you've always wanted to be the change that you've always wanted to be, that you want to see. And so I think that that's the bulk of that record is like the message basically is look, and I don't think for a second that they're saying ditch school. I don't think that that's what they were trying to get to. I think it was more about what I'm saying. Believing in yourself, not falling for bullshit, and just, have a filter. Know what that filter is and know what happiness is and not letting anything steal your joy, not letting anything get in the way of your hopes and dreams. They really do hit hard on the I mean, if their message is very punk rock. Like it is go against the system. 100% go against the system. But go against the system, don't go against the people. You know what I mean? Go against the system that makes life the way it's making towards it because everybody lives life in a different way. So everybody has their own issues, they have their own things that they need to deal with. So I think for the most part, being that this was like, the humble beginnings of BTS and them training and living, a life of obscurity for a while, and in some instances still, um, not letting go of who you are, not forgetting who you are, who you came from, where you came from. And, there is a bit of an undertone of, I say revenge, but I don't, revenge is such a very strong word. But I think perseverance is what it is. It's the idea, like in the Bible, it talks about, and again, paraphrasing that, you know, you're the cook. And when you start cooking, you're cooking for everybody that's sitting at that table, and the people sitting at that table deserve to be there. There may be some people among those people who do not deserve to be there, who may have an ulterior motive or just are in the background, they're haters. But the idea of you cooking, the idea of you preparing this feast in front of your enemies, I think is kind of the call sign for these guys. I think that's kind of what they're saying. Like, we unfairly went through a lot of shit. A lot of people leveled stuff at us that they shouldn't have. They doubted us, they tried to tear us down. And we've seen examples like this. I'm not bullshitting there. I mean, there are examples and guides that show the absolute bullshit that they got first coming out being called gay and what else? You wearing makeup and plastic surgery. Like they started leveling accusations at these guys. Just anything horrible you can think that these guys are thinking about. Like, whoa, whatever. All their homophobia, xenophobia, all that shit that they leveled at them, these guys never broke. These guys never broke, especially, and I know it hurt. The other stuff they can get through, but I think what hurt them the most was even hip hop people not embracing them. Hip hop people completely turning their back on them because they're idols. As if being an idol is like a shitty thing to be, or like you are not a good musician or a good anything because you're an idol. That is just ridiculous. And that's kind of the attitude that was leveled against those guys. So I can feel the anguish in this record. I hear it. I can read it that there's a lot of I want to fuck you up so bad, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to say anything bad. I'm just going to, and that's kind of the attitude that I get towards it. And I understand that it's like, oh my God. You just gotta, this is when you start telling yourself to slow down, you know, you know, start, pray to Jesus. Like you really got to start slowing yourself down because if not, the situations that I've seen these guys go through, I don't know if I could have handled it. So putting this album together like this yet again shows immense restraint. And I have a lot of respect for that. I do, because I think that they're just better people than me. I don't think that I could be so measured and so restrained like that. Um, I kind of go with the old, if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say nothing. So I probably wouldn't say nothing. You know what I mean? I'm not the kind of dude that's gonna, because I used to be like that. I used to be a rapper. I had a record deal with Universal and everything. I did all that stuff, went on tour, you know, in some ways almost talked into starting beef with other people just to do it because it was hip hop and I was dead against it. Um, yeah, I don't think that I could do an album like this. I just don't. I don't think it'd be good because I don't think that I could ever be as measured as they could be, and it would cost me a lot of my mentality to try to do a record like this where you're saying what you're saying, but at the same time, you're just stopping short of really telling them to go kiss your ass. You know what I mean? I would have been full on this. This is how I feel. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to get right to it. I'm going to show you. So big respect, big respect for that. And being so young too at that time, restraint sometimes can be a really hard thing to to have when you are that young and full of energy and testosterone. It's it's commendable. So great record. I give it a flawless review. I think it is just really cool. It's a sign of the times of back then to who they are now, and almost, kind of futuristic in a way because of a lot of things that they're saying are things that hadn't happened yet, but they assumed that it did, and it had. It ended up being everything they said happened. So it was very impressive. The outlook of this and the forecasting was amazing. So that's all that I have, peeps. I want to say thank you for stopping by. And thank you for everybody that came into the chat. This is a little different, but we're always trying to switch it up. Um, I guess there's some shows that we can get to because the Run BTS stuff is definitely, I know that there's more to do, but what was the other one that people want us to see, Irene, and review? There is another one,
Well, first we gotta get to the Bon Voyage season 4,
right?
and then after that we'll do In the Soup.
In the Soup. That's the one that everybody wants us to do. That's the one I'm
Yeah,
excited to get done.
but for these two next weeks, because it's gonna be just 2 weeks left.
All right.
Uh, we're probably gonna do either another album review or we'll see up until after the concert. After the concert, so basically July we'll start doing Bon Voyage season 4, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
I'm sure we'll get a lot done in August. August is when we go to the summer house and we get to chill out. So we don't stop working. We'll still be doing some reviews, but we'll have a little more time to start watching stuff, which I think is cool. So In the Soup would be a really good at that point in August. I'm sure we'll probably already be to it by then, right?
I don't know if we'll be. to In the Soup yet. I think In the Soup is probably gonna be in September or so. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see because we'll be. I mean, I'll have post-concert depression. I don't know about you.
Oh God. Okay. Being so close to Jimin
Being so close to
and then being
Jiminito.
yanked away again. Man, devastating, devastating.
Devastating.
All right, folks, my peeps, thank you for stopping by. If you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, and put that notification bell on so you know the next time we do one of these videos. Sorry, my camera's been delulu. I don't know what's going on with this thing, but have to get figured out. Until then, thanks for stopping by. We will talk to you guys later. Have a great week. Peace.
Bye.